and welcome to Cinema Therapy Reviews. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. And I get it from Aardman Studios.
I was gonna say, this is one of the easiest reviews that we're ever gonna do. We're gonna be talking about Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. Fowl spelled F-O-W-L, because it's a bird pun.
Because everything in this movie is a pun, and it is perfect. That's the review, bye!
At over 110 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at 100%, folks.
And that's low. I don't know what to tell you.
We have some folks here who are considerably younger than us and have never seen a Wallace and Gromit film, so I will just set the stage. Wallace and Gromit by Aardman Animation Studios. They also brought us Chicken Run and Flushed Away and Arthur Christmas. Their bread and butter and where they started is Wallace and Gromit, this cheese-loving, eccentric, idiotic British inventor and his super genius dog who never talks. Every single one is mind-blowingly clever and handcrafted stop-motion animation. So Alan, gush away. What did you love about this movie?
All the things. Seriously, here's the problem with this review. There's the TLDR version, which is, it's great, watch it right now, and then immediately again afterwards. But then there's the other version of this review, which is 5 hours of me waxing eloquent about one scene. And I could do that about every single scene in the movie. There's not a bad one.
Yeah, very true.
The Howard Hawks rule, right, is a good movie has 3 great scenes and no bad ones. I don't know if anyone's ever applied that formula to what is a great movie, how many great scenes do you have to have with no bad ones. I don't know what the classification is when every scene is great and there are no bad ones. And that's what this movie is. I don't know what to say. Like, I've never seen an Aardman movie that I didn't love. Wallace and Gromit typically is like a special level of great from Aardman. Having rewatched all of the Wallace and Gromit films in the last week and a half, this feels like a special Wallace and Gromit film. Like, I don't know how. It's so good. It's delightful. It's funny. The puns are so bad they're good, which makes them extra good.
I should hasten to add, if you've never seen a Wallace and Gromit film, they are all standalone. This one is connected to the original Wrong Trousers. I think before that there's one called Grand Day Out, which was a very short little film where they were first just experimenting with the characters.
Where they fly to the moon to eat the cheese that the moon is made out of, yes.
And this one does a good job. If you didn't see The Wrong Trousers, you can still jump in this one and you'll know what's going on. The only connective tissue between the films, other than some in-world elements, is there is a formula. A mystery, a series of smaller misadventures, a lot of pratfalls and comic interactions. Wallace is stupid, Gromit is a genius, and then at the end, they pull out all the stops. They blow you away with something that is just created with stop motion, an action sequence that will rival anything that you see in a big budget action film.
And I will say in this movie, there are a couple of action sequences that are fantastic. They're absolutely wonderful. This is a stop motion animated film. Plasticine models, they're actually modeling the faces. They're not doing the little like 3D printed face swap things that some studios do. Not that there's one's better than the other. It's just like,
so they're actually moving one face.
Yeah, and you can see, because it's plasticine, you can see the thumbprints that the animators' fingers were making, like moving around on the models and stuff. They do use digital visual effects in this to augment the massive amount of practical stuff that they've done. Great stuff in this. I will say though, my one, if you want to call it a criticism, and it isn't, is nothing in this rises to the level of the action sequence at the end of the Wrong Trousers short film. But that's like saying very few pieces of art rise to the level of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Like, there is a chase with canal boats in this film. I love the Fast and the Furious montage of like, we're downshifting and we're throwing gears, and the screws are turning and they're throwing bubbles and da-da-da. And then you cut wide and it's 2 canal boats just
Yep.
I like choked.
So Alan, who's this movie for?
Every damn fucker on the planet.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yes, it's technically a family film, but the same way like WALL-E is a family film. And you could watch WALL-E by yourself or with your best friends or on a date or with kids, and it's still just a freaking masterpiece. So don't be hoodwinked into thinking, well, if I don't have kids or my kids aren't with me, I'm not watching this. Like, no. This is for everybody on the planet.
I'm literally trying to think of like, who is this movie not for? And I'm drawing a blank.
Can't think of anyone either.
For everyone. It's so good and delightful and fun. If you enjoy enjoying things,
this is your movie.
It's for literally everyone. What can literally everyone take away from this?
Yeah, I just cherry-picked 3 off the top of my noggin, but you're right, there's more than 3. First, who are the people in your life who've proven worth listening to? And in this case, even if they can't speak, you should still listen to them. What is a good balance between technology and doing things yourself? And how can you make peace with those who feel you've wronged them? Something I love about Aardman Studios is they're the cinematic equivalent of a chef who's like, you can't rush perfection. It's going to take 4 hours to make your dinner, and you're going to be grumpy, and then you're going to be so grateful that I did. Like, every time they come out with a movie, it's been so long that I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Aardman exists.
Because to do this, to make a 90-minute film, takes a long time.
Long ass
totally worth
time.
it. Yeah, it's such a labor of love and 100% worth it. So Alan, time to rate the film. What would you give Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl?
You know what? I'm gonna do it. For the first time on Cinema Therapy Reviews, a movie is getting a 10 out of 10. This movie is cinematic perfection. It's not even 90 minutes. This is another thing. The movie doesn't overstay its welcome. Part of that is it takes for f***ing ever to hand animate plasticine. So you only do what you need to do. I don't know what to say. I am literally gonna watch it again this weekend.
Yep, me too. I'm also gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And this movie was picked up by Netflix, so you can stream it right at home. So if you saw the film, let us know what you thought in the comments below. And of course, you're enjoying our new channel, Cinema Therapy Reviews, so make sure you have subscribed and you click the bell so that you don't miss any review. So until next time,
Watch
movies on
Netflix.
Alan's filmmaking rants.
Movie, 10 out of 10. Distribution, 2 out of 10. I am sick to death of Netflix not releasing movies in the movie theater. And you know why? Red One. Red One is a streaming movie that Amazon made to go on streaming, and then they were like, hey, why don't we just put this in a movie theater just for funsies? I don't know, we'll try that thing that people have been doing for 120 years.
Plus, we're Amazon, we've got the money.
It made a big chunk of money for them. Like, it didn't pay off its entire investment, but that's not the point of that movie. It was to be a streaming movie. But it also gave people an opportunity to get together and go have a fun time at the theater. You know, no matter what you thought of Red One, I thought it was fun.
I thought it was fun, and it built word of mouth for the streaming release. Like, because not a ton of people went to see it in theaters, but those who did said, you know what, that was actually pretty fun. And then people caught it at home, and it was huge on streaming. Wallace and Gromit may have less of an impact on Netflix than it would if it was released in theaters. People talked about it, and then everybody who didn't go to the theaters like, oh sweet, I can't wait to watch it.
I guarantee it would get watched on Netflix more and drive more subscribers to Netflix if they had done a full-blown theatrical release first. And look, doing a full-blown theatrical release costs millions of dollars, right? You have to make all the prints, you gotta make all the posters, you gotta do a little bit of advertising, make sure people know it's in theaters, like you gotta do a lot of stuff. This movie is good enough, it would have made its money back in theaters, guaranteed. And then it would have made it way more popular when it comes out on streaming. And the biggest thing is, I am never going to get the chance to see this masterpiece of cinema the way it should be seen. 3 times to 10 times as tall as I am, huge with giant sound.
I would love to see this in IMAX.
You know, I have a very nice home theater setup and it just isn't the same. And I didn't get to go see it with 150 strangers, and we're all laughing at the same thing. And we're all tearing up at the same moment that Gromit is when he's realizing that, you know, he and Wallace might never be together again. Like, it's just, Netflix, your model has broken an entire industry, and I want to work with you at some point, but also screw you completely.
I'm sending you mixed messages.
Yeah.
All right, folks, thank you for staying. This has been another delightful Alan rant, and we will see you for our next review.